Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I was not intending to stream today, but I just got back from a convention, and I decided that I am in the mood to stream a bit. So here I am, streaming. Give me a sec. I'm trying to tag someone, and I didn't get there. Brian is supposed. Okay. Okay. I was not intending to stream today, but I'm feeling it now. I was not feeling too hot this morning. I was very tired. Like very, very tired. Please reply to this post. There we go. Okay. So before I play some nice hero shooter or harem shooter anime, this was the event that we went to. Look at this guy. We need more of him. So we went to, it's called UwuCon, as in Uwu. And it was the first time I took him anywhere. He mostly chilled in his little box. He let everyone pet him, though. People were super excited to see the cat. So these are just a few of the pictures that I took. Yes, you got it right. I literally just got back home like 5 minutes ago. I'm very tired, but I'm feeling better today better this evening than I was this morning. So I took I was playing Space Marine 2 with some friends, and I was so exhausted that I was falling asleep in the middle of killing Tyranids. And it was bad. I was so out. Afterwards, I had to log out early, and I just passed the fuck out. I was done. I have this little area over by Daiki's bigger cat tree, and I just fell asleep. Alright, so we're doing more of the Harem shooter game.
Yay.
And I got some Taco Bell because I'm really hungry. Haven't eaten a whole lot today. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go straight into the story, because we have to finish all of this before I can do the legacy and go back to play. Progress. June 17, 9 a.m. All truth. The public trial was about to begin. Well then, Adjutant, I am off. I'm gonna put that right there. He's probably really curious, like, what the f is this? Uh-huh. I'll make sure to give you a magical performance. Magic show. This is very English. Something tells me this woman knows what's gonna happen. Be careful. Noticing the distant gaze looking our way, I waved goodbye to Lizzie with a smile. The way they had that in parentheses, I'm about to say this is not actually Lizzie, but someone else. Just a hunch. Daiki took one sniff of the tomatoes, was like, no, I don't like that. He's off. There he goes, he's off. You guys, all of you guys who are on here, your 16 viewers, you are very lucky. You got to see Daiki. Rare Daiki appearance. See that? This is definitely not Lizzie. Feels kind of nice calling my you, Mr. Adjutant again. Not long after Lizzie left, attendees for the trial began filling in and taking their seats. When the crowd finally hushed, The gravel echoed from the bench.
裁判員の皆さんの捜査の結果、当事件には新しい進展がありました。裁判員の皆さん、本日の審理を開始してもよろしいですか？
May I confirm? Are you prepared to proceed? I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I glanced at the three beside me. Britia seemed to be observing something intently. Catching my eye, she lifted a small fist and gave me a quick wave, her way of saying she was ready. Echo looked like she was dying to grab the teacup on the table, but didn't quite dare. The moment she felt my gaze, she yanked her hand back, tucked it behind her ear, and flashed an innocent grin. You better be a good girl, Etchel. Vidya pushed her up her glasses, scanned her notes one last time, then met my gaze, her eyes composed and sharp.
分析員さん、準備できましたよ。
She's ready. Alright, let's do this. And so, the trial began. A reopened case, headed toward its final reckoning.
では、もう一度、事件の経緯を説明します。報告書をご覧ください。
Alright, I will now present a full summary of the case. Please review the report. At 7:13 a.m. on June 16, Tia, head of the Quantum Sciences Lab, was found dead at her workstation, approximately 5 meters from the lab's main entrance. Cause of death, massive internal bleeding from severe organ trauma. Estimated time of death, 6:12 p.m. on June 15. When the scene was discovered, the lab door was locked by its security system. Security staff were forced to breach it, revealing what appeared to be a classic locked room murder. Miss Lizzie was also found unconscious at the scene. However, her airtight alibi has since been verified, and she has been ruled out as a suspect.
以上、今回の事件の説明です。
Alright, that concludes the summary.
では、本館に今回の容疑者を教えてください。
Specialist, please submit the name of the individual you have identified as the prime suspect. Okay. And we got 3. We got Doris, Mound, Doris, and Neon. So I'm be honest, I think Mound or Neon are the most suspicious. I'm kind of ruling out Doris. I don't think it was her. But I'm gonna say, since I think the God, I don't remember how you say it, but since I think the something or other, what we found, the evidence we found was heavily implied that it had something to do with the the Titan Sciences Lab. Mon is the most likely suspect.
数々の調査を経て、皆さんはマオさんを疑っているのですか？は
あ、なんで疑われたのかわからないわ。
I don't see why you're accusing me of killing Tia.
昨日の調査では十分に付き合ってあげたでしょ。
Didn't I fully cooperate with your investigation yesterday?
証拠を見つけたので、そう認識しただけです。
証拠ね。まあいい。そこまで言うなら、あなたたちの顔を立てて証言台に立ってあげようかしら。
Evidence, is it? Fine. Since you're so sure of yourselves, go on. I'll play along. And wow, this woman is so freaking cocky.
では、これより本日の審理を開始します。
I'm somewhat of the belief that none of these three are actually the killer, and we're just trying to lure the real killer out. But I don't think it actually matters who we choose.
あなたは被害者を殺害した疑いをかけられました。異議はありますか？もちろんよ。
Absolutely.
何度も繰り返すわ。ティアの死は私と無関係よ。それに調査報告書にはっきり書かれてたけど、現場は密室状態だったわよね。
Besides, the reports clearly state it was a locked room case.
私がティアを殺したのなら、どうやって密室から出たのかしら。
If I really killed her, how would I have gotten out?
それから現場では麻酔ガスが噴射されたから理事がそこで意識を失ってたのよ。もし私が現場にいたら理事のような状態で倒れてないとおかしいわ。
And let's not forget, the room was filled with anesthetic knockout gas. Lizzie passed out because of it. If I had been there, I would have been found unconscious too, right next to her. If the locked room setup were genuine, Mound would have a solid point, but I knew. There's another exit in the quantum sciences lab. Mound has supernatural powers. She can phase through walls. The locked room wasn't created from inside the room. So, this is probably the funniest one I've seen here. At this point, I'm actually somewhat tempted to believe that we're not accusing anyone specifically. We're just trying to draw out the real killer. But let's see what I do if I actually take this seriously. The locked room wasn't created from inside the room. I turned to Vidya. If she wants to keep up the charade, fine. We'll humor her, for now. Let's strip away her lies, one by one, and see how long her bluff holds. No rush. After all, she's not the only one who needs a little more time.
はい、わかりました。分析員さん。
Lydia adjusted her glasses, eyes locked onto Maun, who had put on a calm front.
あの現場が本当に内部からでしか作れない密室なら、犯人は確かに出られないでしょう。
If this had been a genuine locked room, one that could only be sealed from the inside, then yes, there'd be no way for the murderer to escape.
ですが残念ながら、そこは外から作り上げられた偽の密室でした。
But this wasn't that. This was a fabricated locked room, one that was rigged outside. Ooh.
外から作り上げられた偽の密室？
Wait, what? A locked room rigged from the outside? It's always interesting. This takes such a very anime approach where everyone asks the question by repeating exactly what was said as a question.
そんなこと可能なのですか？
How is that even possible? Seriously, who does the Academic Acropolis even let serve as an art these days? Wow, my thoughts are rude, but very honest.
そんな目で本館を見ないでください。
Don't look at me like that, Mr. Specialist. I must be glaring really hard.
学院は科学、学術交流と知恵のぶつかり合いを崇めています。
The Academica Acropolis is a place of science, research, and academic exchange.
この心理庁も古来より学術的弁論に使われてきました。凶悪事件の審理のために使われるなんて十数年間で初めての試みです。
This place, the Hall of Truth, has always been for scholarly discussions. A criminal trial? Honestly, I think this might be the first one in over a decade.
本館だって初めての経験なんです。
Poor girl, it's her first time. Ah, that would explain how Lizzie ended up being carelessly labeled a suspect in the first
状
place.
況を未だにつかめないのでしたら、会話に割り込まないでもらっていいですか？
Ooh, Vidya, harsh. Since this clearly isn't your area of expertise, maybe just stay quiet from now on. No, basically telling her to shut her
申し
mouth.
訳ございません。
Poor Arbiter, I actually feel a little bad for
密
this
室が外
girl.
から作られたという証拠をこれから皆さんにお送りします。
Now then, we'll upload the key evidence proving the locked room scene was staged from the outside. The evidence Vidya is referring to was uncovered during our investigation of the Quantum Sciences Lab. So, the 3 emergency buttons or the door's locking mechanism. So, I think we're going to go with the door's locking mechanism. The lab security door, nearly 10 centimeters thick, is its primary safeguard. It can be sealed internally via the emergency buttons. Also, if the door is physically damaged, the system automatically triggers a full lockdown. There are 3 buttons: blue for lockdown, green for knockout gas, and red for both. When the victim was found, her finger was resting on the red button. This should be the key evidence proving the locked room was staged from the outside. The security door's locking mechanism.
密室を作ることができるのは中の安全ボタンだけではありません。
As you can see, the lockdown could be triggered without pressing the buttons from inside.
あらかじめ被害者の指をボタンに置いて自分で麻酔ボタンを押し、麻酔ガスが噴出される前に部屋から出れば、被害者が内部から麻酔と施錠を行ったように見せることが可能です。
The culprit simply placed the victim's finger on the red button, simulate her pressing it. Then, they used the green button to release the knockout gas. Before the anesthetic took full effect, they slipped out.
そして部屋から出た後、外からドアを破壊することで、ドアは自動でロックがかかり、密室も完成します。
Once outside, they damaged the security door. That triggered the automatic lockdown, making it seem like the victim had sealed herself inside.
そういうやり方があるのは本館でもわかります。ですが、
If this is the method you're proposing, then sure, I suppose it's possible in theory, but...
でもそれじゃ無理よ。
But it doesn't hold up in this case.
そうですよね。そんなに睨まないでください。無関係のことを話
Please
すつも
don't
りは
glare
あ
at
り
me
ませ
like
ん。
that. I'm not just guessing
ドリス
here.
さんは警備を呼んでドアを破壊する前にドアの写真を撮りました。
Miss Doris did upload the photo.
その写真に写ったドアには傷一つありませんでした。
So, and in that photo, the door was completely
ですが、
intact.
安全ボタンなしでドアをロックしたければ、物理的にドアを壊さないといけません。
But the auto lockdown only triggers after physical damage, right? So how could the system have activated? I'm assuming the
ド
observer
アに
blade was
傷をつけずに破
here.
壊するのは不可能ではないのです。
There is a way to damage the door without leaving a single mark on the outside.
なんですって？
当時、タイタン物質開発研究室にあった特別なものを使えば
Ooh, it
可能
only
で
took
す
an。item one can find in the Titan Sciences Lab. Uploading the exhibit now. I had to choose the right piece of evidence. So I'm gonna say I think it's the phase bullet. Replication box or phase bullet. One or the other. Try phase bullet.
この資料で外からドアをロックする方法がお分かりになったでしょう。
As you can see, locking the door from the outside was
タイ
entirely
タン物
possible.
質の酸形態変換という特性を利用して開発された貫通弾丸は情報体になって厚みが 30mm の防御装甲を貫通することができます。
The phase bullet, developed using the three-phase transformation properties of Titagen, can enter a state of fragmentation and phase through up to 30mm of armor
そ
plating.
して研究室のドアの厚さは
The
10
lab's
センチです。
security door is 10 centimeters thick.
つまり貫通弾丸をドアに撃つと弾丸はドアの中の 30mm まで入り込んでから実体を取り戻し
Meaning
中か
the,
らドアにダメージを与えます。
meaning the bullet passed through the outer layer untouched and then solidified inside after passing 30mm, damaging the
これ
internal
で
lock
ド
mechanism,
アの表面を傷つけずにドアロックを発動できますね。
while leaving the exterior completely unscathed. That's how the lockdown was triggered with no trace of...
それから真央さんの研究室にあった拳銃にはサイレンサーがついていました。廊下から発砲しても他の研究室にいる人たちに不審がられません。
Oh, and Miss Mowen, the gun used to fire these rounds comes with a silencer, doesn't it? So even if someone fired from the corridor, no one inside would have heard a sound. Under Vidya's piercing gaze, Mowen didn't even flinch. Instead, a faint smile tugged at the corner of her lips.
その憶測だけで私を疑ってるのね。
So this is the angle you're running with.
まあ面白い発想だったわ。
I'll give you this. It's an interesting theory.
事
Man,
実
she
か
is
らは
so
程遠い
certain.
けど、今の発言大きく矛盾してるのよ。
But unfortunately, it's not the truth. There's a glaring flaw in your whole theory. Her voice rose gradually, but then I cut in. The glaring flaw you're banking on, I'm guessing, is this. The bullet count.
気づいてるじゃない。無駄話もいいところだわ。
So you do realize the fatal flaw in your theory. Yet you're still clinging to this idea. Really?
待ってください。何の話ですか？
Wait, hold on. What are you two talking about? Poor Arbiter, she's just being left in the dust.
何か聞き逃したわけじゃないのに。
I feel so bad
わ
for
からな
her.
くなりましたが。
I swear I've been paying attention, but suddenly it's like my brain's turned to static.
学生時代の苦しい記憶がちょっと
Oh boy.
ぼーっとしたら黒板に文字がびっしり書かれてしまうあの時のことを。
I do not think this lady is ready to be an arbiter. Oh dear. It feels like topology classes all over again. One blink and suddenly the whole blackboard is nothing but a swirling mess of lines and numbers.
貫通弾丸は量産できないから一発使うとしっかりと一発分の在庫が減るわ。
Phase bullets are cutting-edge prototypes. They are nearly impossible to reproduce.
なのに今この時点で弾丸の数は15発のまま。
Each one is accounted for, and even now, the count remains unchanged at 15.
本当に貫通弾丸でドアを破壊していたのならそこから一発減っていないとおかしいわよね。
So if I actually fired at the door, there'd be one missing, wouldn't there?
余分な一発がどこから来たのか
So
あ
tell
な
me,
たたちに説明できるのかしら。
where exactly could I have acquired an extra bullet for the restock?
答えはあなたもよく知っていますよね。
Both know perfectly well how you
Mao-san.
got it. Smile. Lydia pushes up her glasses, her face unreadable, but her gaze cut through Maon like a blade. Seeing Vidya pressing her advantage, I opened the digital evidence folder with a smile. I'll now upload evidence identifying the source of that mysterious bullet. I will present Replication Box, the Specialized Dissection Scalpel, Observer's Blade. I think all of these honestly would work. I think what we're doing here is each one is a piece of evidence to a completely different story. So, in this case, we're gonna go with the replication box. Item YX003, the replication box. Here's the dossier. Place an object inside, close the lid, wait 10 seconds, and the item will be duplicated. After each shoots, the box requires a 6-hour cooldown. Duplicates carry anomalous properties and typically disintegrate after 6 hours. Note: metamorph curios themselves cannot be copied, but certain derivative research items can.
なるほど。そのマーベルズを使えば貫通弾丸を複製できるのですね。それってつまり
That's how you replicate, which means every eye in the room snapped to Maon. She let out a low, derisive laugh.
滑稽ね。
Kokene, what a farce.
本館がですか？
Did I say something funny? Poor
部
Arbiter.
外者は黙ってなさい。
Keep your mouth shut! What the? Oh my god, this woman. This doesn't concern you.
はい。ですが、はい、申し訳ございません。黙ります。
Poor Arbiter. I
タ
really
ブ
do.
犬
I
に来た
feel
時に
worse and worse
ち
for
ゃんと
her.
説明したはずよ。
I already explained this clearly yesterday at the Titan Sciences lab.
確かに弾丸を複製したけれど、実験で全て使い切ったの。
Yes, I replicated some bullets, but they were all used during testing.
実験の様子を収めた録画もあなたたちに見せたわよね。それを疑ってるのなら証人を呼んでもいいけど。
You've seen the footage yourselves. If you're doubting the video's validity, I've got witnesses who can confirm it. I don't doubt the footage. I believe the bullets you replicated that day were indeed all used up. But
問題はそこじゃありません。
that's not the key. The key is the replication test from the day of the murder, the bullets that were replicated on the day of the murder.
事件翌日の複製実験はそもそも何かを隠そうとしていないので、もちろん何の問題も見当たりません。
You had nothing to hide about the replication test you ran the day after the murder. So naturally, everything checks out with that batch of bullets.
ですが、事件当日の実験はどうですか？
But what about the batch you replicated on the very day of the crime? Did we catch her?
意味がわからないわ。
I don't understand what you mean.
事件当日の実験を私たちに見せていませんよ。
You never showed us any footage of the replication test from the day of the murder.
実験は毎回映像が残るわけじゃないわ。
Not every test is recorded. That is fucking suspicious.
あと、当日の実験は事件と何の関係があるというの？
And what does that experiment have to do with anything?
デタラメ
Everything.
ばっかね。あなたたちも
This is absurd. Haven't you?
あなたたちも複製の箱の研究報告書を読んだでしょ。
Haven't you read the
ですか？
replication box's dossier? This is what you're trying to say, no? Oh
複
yeah,
製
we're
された
pushing
ものは
hard.
通常6時間で消えます。事件当日の複製実験は午前9時から10時の間に行われました。
Items replicated by the replication box usually last just 6 hours. And on the day of the murder, you ran your bullet replication test between 9 and 10 a.m.
つまり当日に複製された弾丸は事件が起きる前に消えるはずだと言いたいんですね。
You're about to argue that bullets couldn't have possibly lasted until the time of the crime, aren't you?
あら、違うかしら。
Ara! She ordered! Isn't that obvious?
報告書では通常6時間と書かれていました。では通常じゃない場合はどうなるのでしょうか？
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the duplicates would vanish in 6 hours. Just like the dossier says. But what if this wasn't a normal circumstance?
通常じゃない。
Tsujo janai. Mon's face tensed up like she had just swallowed a bitter pill. Vidya had clearly struck a nerve. we are. I knew exactly how Malin had managed to pull off this special case. Stored the bullet in a metamorph curio container. Stored the bullet in a fridge. Microwave the bullet! Okay. I like that one, but we're gonna go with stored the bullet in a metamorph curio containment case.
マーベルズ用の金庫に入れると何時間持ちますか？
If it was stored in a metamorph curio containment case, how long would it have lasted?
マオさん、答えていただきましょうか。あなたならこういった保管実験を行ったことがあるはずです。
The anime dude. Welcome. Thank you. I hope the stream goes well too. Honestly speaking, I'm just sort of randomly doing this one this time. I just got back from a con. And I'm like, you know what? I want to play some Snowbreak. And since I only play this when I stream, I'm like, I should just stream it. I hope your Sunday or your Saturday is going well, by the way.
やったとしても些細な実験だからとっくに忘れたわ。
Even if I have run a casual test like that before, I don't remember it. Lies.
残ってないったらないわよ。どうしても私を疑いたいなら、その方法を使ったと証明できる証拠でも見せなさい。
I said I didn't keep any duplicate bullets, and that's the truth. If you want to accuse me of triggering the lockdown that way, then prove it.
それに、そもそも私よりネオンを疑うべきじゃないかしら。
She is just going off, and besides, instead of clinging to this flimsy theory, why not look into neon?
現場を密室に見せるための方法はネオンにしかできないわ。見ればわかるでしょ。
Oh man, how busy are we talking here? The con was fun. I took my cat with me to the con, so let me really quickly. I'm gonna pull up. So this was the con. So you can see here we met some people. Everyone loved my cat. I'd say we had a good time. But this is his first time at the Mesa Convention Center. Just want to reply real quickly. Oh, and I got a message. Hang on. Maybe a little late. That's just a friend who wants to hang out. There we go. An obvious method of her staging the lockdown room scene. Don't you see it? And she's the only one who could have pulled it off.
このタイミングで新しい容疑者ですか？
She's trying to
予想をは
deflect.
るかに超えた展開です。
What a twist. I feel like I'm in the middle of that lawyer anime or that lawyer game. Ace something, Ace Attorney?
そのネオンさんにもできるのですか？
Are you saying Miss Mound also had a way of creating a locked room?
もちろん変異生物を操ればいい話よ。
Of course, all she had to do was use her mutant creatures. For her, that's child's play. Item YX007. Command megaphone. You are suggesting she use that to pull it off, aren't you?
ええ、
Exactly.
そのラッパで小型生物を操れば通気口とかそういう隙間から研究室に入れるわ。
That megaphone? She could have easily manipulated small organisms, sent them crawling through the vents or cracks into the lab.
ティアを殺した後、外から小型生物にロックボタンを押させたら密室の出来上がり。
After killing Tia, she could have had the creatures press the button from inside, creating the locked room scenario.
事件当日、生命科学研究室で事故が起きたのもこれが原因かもしれないわね。
And that
ラッパの変
accident.
異を無駄
Oh,
にし
she's
ない
still
ために
going.
わざと事故を起こしたに決まってる。
And that accident in the life sciences lab on the day of the murder, I'd wager it only happened because she was saving the megaphone's effects for this plan. Vidya adjusted her glasses, a faint, cool smile tugging at her rosy lips.
面白い発想ですね。さっき言われたこの言葉、そっくりそのままお返しします。
I'll borrow your line here. It's an interesting theory,
ですが、それはありえません。
but unfortunately, it doesn't hold up.
なんでよ。
Nande? Why not?
理由は
I think
あなたの
she's
研
losing
究
it.
報告書に書かれていますよ。
You explained it yourself in the curious report you wrote. You don't remember? Vidya glanced at me once again. We had already ruled out this angle back at the life sciences lab.
分析員さん、もしかしてあのラッパを使って。
If she used that megaphone to... Think it through, Vidya. The megaphone couldn't have done it because... Limited usage attempts, limited effect range, limited effective time. So I'm gonna say limited effective time. Limited usage attempts. Limited effective time. There's always a chance Neon staged the accident to free up a few extra minutes of the megaphone's effective time for the crime, but I've uploaded the Command Megaphone's dossier for everyone to review. Take a good look. The answer's right there.
本館にはさっぱりです。なんでですか？
I'm sorry, I'm not quite following. Why couldn't it have worked?
では、説明しましょう。問題は距離にあります。
It's a matter of effective range.
ラッパの使用可能距離は2メートル。
The megaphone has an effective radius of just
ですが、
2 meters.
遺体と安全ボタンはドアから5メートル離れた場所にあります。
But the distance from the door to the victim's body and the emergency buttons is 5 meters. I feel like the more nervous she gets, the more mistakes this woman's
マオ
making.
さん、他に何か詭弁はありますか？
Mao-san, do you have any excuses left to say?
詭弁ですって。そんなこと言っても結局何も証拠がないじゃない。
Huh. You still haven't shown any real proof she's nervous as
それに、
fuck.
説明できないこともたくさん残ってるわ。
And there are plenty of details your story conveniently glosses
凶器
over.
は生命犬のメスだったわよね。私が犯人なら
Ooh.
どうやってメスを取ってくるというの？
Take the murder weapon, for instance. It was a scalpel from the life sciences lab. If I really killed her, how exactly did I get my hands on
混
that?
乱に乗じて取ればいい話ですよ。
You took advantage during the chaos during that
事件
incident.
当日の午後、生命科学研究室で事故が起きた時、
You were there
あな
that
たは事故
afternoon,
の様子を見に来ましたよね。
weren't you?
私以外にもたくさんの人がいたわ。
So were plenty of other people.
その間、研究室の監視カメラは動いていたはずよ。
And security cameras were running the whole time.
私がメスを取ったかどうかはちゃんと映像を確認すればわかるでしょ。
If you actually bothered to check the footage, you see whether I ever had a chance to steal the scalpel.
もちろん確認しましたよ。
Oh, we checked.
人がたくさん入る間は道具入れを確認できませんでしたが、
During the incident, the crowd blocked the cameras. We couldn't see what happened. Section K.
皆さんがいなくなった後、メスが揃ってると監視カメラで確認できました。
But once the commotion died down and people cleared out, we saw this. Every scalpel still there.
ちょっと待ってください。マオさんがメスを取ったと言っているんですよね。揃っているということは。
Miss Arbiter's confused again. I'm not surprised at this point. that she's completely unaware of what's going on, but let's see. Wait, hold on a second. Aren't you trying to prove Miss Malin stole one? If nothing was missing, I don't follow.
裁判員の皆さん、いよいよ頭がおかしくなったようね。
Man, I don't like her anymore. Looks like your brilliant specialists are a bit confused themselves.
いいえ
Yeah. So Vidya just says no. It's interesting. So in Japanese, iie means no. But in the English translation, she says no, quite the opposite.
揃っているからこそあなた真央さんにしかメスを取れないと証明できます。
It's because the scalpel kit was full that we know you were the only one who could have pulled this off. The
こちらを見ても
replicator.
らえば意味がわかると思います。
Take a look at this piece of evidence and it'll all make sense. The scalpel kit, still intact at 8 p.m. on June 15. As Vidya spoke, I uploaded the exhibit.
確かに6月15日の夜8時時点でメスはまだ揃ってますね。
This can't be right. The kit was still full at 8 p.m.?
ですが、もしメスが凶器なら当日の6時12分には
But the murder happened at 6:12 p.m. Shouldn't a scalpel have been missing
ち
already?
なみにですが事件翌日に確認するとメスが1本だけ消えていました。
Here's another
そして
interesting
監視カメラ
fact.
には誰も映ってません。
When the same kit was inspected the next day, one scalpel was missing. But from the footage, no one ever touched the kit.
事件当日監視カメラが正常に作動するようになってから翌日現場が発見されるまで量子科学研究室の廊下にあるカメラにも誰も映ってませんでした。
The Quantum Sciences Lab's hallway footage showed no one entering or leaving between the murder and the body's discovery either.
つまりそのメスは監視カメラが作動していない15日夜の6時から7時の間に事件現場に移動したことになります。
Which tells us the scalpel must have been placed at the crime scene sometime between 6 and 7 p.m. during the window when the security system was shut down.
すみません。余計わからなくなりました。
Poor Arbiter, now she's
Itai,
really
なぜですか？
confused.
複製の箱で複製したものの特性を
I'm
覚えてますか？
sure you all remember the core trait of items duplicated replication box.
複製品は6時間後に消える。
The duplicates vanish after 6 hours.
なるほど。真央さんは生命科学研究室のメスを複製してその複製品を道具入れに戻したと言いたいのですね。
I wonder how Mao's gonna get out of this one. So she duplicated a scalpel, pocketed the real one, and left the copy
大
in the
胆な
kit.
推測ね。
A pretty bold leap in
複製
logic.
の箱でメスを複製するだなんて奇想天外にも程があるわ。
Oh man. She's accusing us of letting our imagination run
仮に
wild.
本当
Damn.
に箱でメスを複製したら監視カメラに映らないとおかしいわよ
I
ね。
had used the replication box. You think the cameras wouldn't have
箱
caught
の写
it?
真を見たでしょ。あんなに大きい箱を持っていると嫌でも目立つわ。
You've seen the thing. It's huge. You think I could just sneak that into the life sciences lab without anyone
それに事
noticing?
件当日私が生命圏に入ったのはたったの一度だけ。人混みに紛れてメスを取って複製してまた戻しに行ったとしたら回数が合わないわ。
And I only entered the lab once during the day. If you're suggesting I somehow slipped in, took the scalpel, ran a replication, and returned it without leaving a trace, then save your breath.
そうですよ。
そうですよ. Got a point.
真央さんの言う通り本当に複製の箱で複製を行っていたら現場でこんな行動は無理なはずで。
There's no way she could have copied the scalpel with a replication box on site. The murmur from the arbiters spread like a ripple, a wave of doubt beginning to rise among the spectators. And yet, as the noise grew calmer, noise grew louder, Vidya turned calmly toward me, composed, assured. It's time. Vidya, finish her. Oh, we're going Mortal Kombat on this lady now. On
分
it.
析員さんが教えてくれた
Allow me to deliver the
あ
finishing
の
blow.
好きで
With the slip up, the adjutant uncovered. A faint smile played on her lips. She adjusted her glasses with practiced grace. But when her gaze returned to Maun, the chill behind it struck like a knife. Maun flinched instinctively.
真央さんに一つだけ質問をさせていただければ真実は明らかになります
Ooh, there's only one question left, Miss Maun, and once you answer it, the truth will speak for itself.
質問
What question?
登録
Shitsumo?
番号 YX003
IX003. She enunciated each syllable with icy precision, and then raised her hand, pointing directly at Maun.
このマーベルズの名前は本当に複製の箱で合ってますか
Tell me, are you certain the name of this curio should be the replication box?
何が言いたいの
Ooh, nani ga itai no? What are you implying?
登録番号 YX003 実際に複製能力を持つのは箱の中の布なんじゃないですか
Ooh, I'm just suggesting an interesting hypothesis. What if the true curio wasn't the box at all, but the cloth inside it?
あなた
Wow, she is speechless. For the first time, Maun's veneer of composure began to crack. Her eyes flashing, her breath catching.
さあ知らないわ
I don't know anything about that.
それはどうでしょうタブ犬の責任者でもあるあなたが知らないなんておっしゃるのですね
And we're supposed to believe that you, the head of the Titan Sciences Lab, know nothing
いい
about
加
it?
減にしなさい
Oop, she's snapping.
あんたは私が犯人であることを前提に推理を進めてるだけよ
All of this, every theory you've spun is built on the assumption that I'm the killer.
仮にあんたの言った通り布だけでメスを複製できたとしても何の意味がある私がティアを殺した証拠になるの
Even if what you say is true, even if that cloth could somehow replicate a scalpel, so what? That still doesn't prove I killed Tia.
複製品のメスを私以外の誰かが凶器として使った可能性がないと言い切れる
Couldn't someone else have taken the replicated scalpel and done it?
結局何の証拠もないじゃないの
At the end of the day, you've got nothing.
私がティアを殺したと証明できる証拠がね
Nothing that directly links me to her death. Lydia stood there, arms folded, her gaze cold and sharp as polished glass.
ありますよ
Oh.
証拠
But we do.
じゃあそれを見せなさいよ
Then bring it out. Show us.
現場の地面に私の生物情報があったとでも言うの
Did you find my DNA at the
凶器
scene?
に私の指紋がついていたのかしら
My fingerprints on the weapon?
はたまた私が犯行を行った瞬間を撮影した写真でもあるの
What, you've got a video of me plunging the scalpel in?
それくらいの証拠を見せたらどう
If you've got real proof, let's see
真央
it.
さん右手の傷は治りましたか
Alright, how's your right hand feeling, Miss Maun?
あんたたちの証拠と何の関係が
What does that have to do with anything?
もちろんありますよあなたの右手は凶器のせいで負傷したんですから
Everything because the injury to your right hand was caused by the murder weapon. Maun's breath hitched, but the next second she yanked her sleeve up her sleeve with a sharp
右
motion.
手はただひねっただけよ
This? It's just a sprain.
凶器で負傷したなら傷跡が残ってないとおかしいじゃない
If you were going to claim I was cut by a murder weapon, shouldn't there be, I don't know, an actual scar?
そうですよメスによる傷ならどうしても跡が残ります
We didn't say she was cut with it, did we?
いくらアクロポリス学院の特別な治療手段を使ったとしてもあとは少なくとも7日間残ります
Even with
ま
our
だ
medical
事
tech,
件発生から3日しか経ってませんよ
healing something like that takes time, and it's only been 3 days since the
メス
murder.
が作った傷口なら確かに跡が残りますが
You're right. If it had been a scalpel, there'd be a clear wound.
私は最初から最後まで 凶器はメスだって言ってませんよ。
But did I ever say the murder weapon was a scalpel?
どういうことですか？
I feel like we're just fucking with the arbiter at this
マオ
point.
さんなら分かっているでしょう。
Oh, I think Miss Mao knows exactly what I mean. The real murder weapon is none other than
登録番号 YX111 観測の刃。
right, the Observer's Blade.
あなたはこのマーベルズについて詳しいですか？
Are you familiar with this weapon? This curio, Miss Mao?
いいえ、
そうでしょうね。詳しいはずがありま
Of
せん。
course you aren't. Shouldn't be.
でなければ事件現場であんなミスをしないのでしょう。
Because if you had been familiar with it, you never would have made such a fatal mistake at the crime scene.
ミスですか？
Fatal mistake? Everyone, take a look at this. I uploaded the compiled files on the Observer's Blade for all to see. After we secured the Observer's Blade, we conducted a series of tests and compiled a detailed report.
あんたたちの研究報告書は何の信憑性が？
Uh-oh. Your report is meaningless. It holds no scientific She cut herself off mid-sentence. Because she saw the signature at the bottom of the page. Britia Ignis. A name that carried legendary weight within the Academica Acropolis. Few had ever met her in person, so no one recognized her here and now. But her signature on the document? That was authority no one dared question.
どれどれ？観測の刃は量子の変異を持っている。
Observer's Blade exhibits quantum anomalous
ナイ
properties.
フの一部が観測されたとき、該当箇所は物質世界から姿を消す。
The observed portion of the blade temporarily ceases to exist within the material plane whenever it is under observation.
なるほど。だから跡を残さないんですね。
Ah, now I get why you said the weapon wouldn't leave a visible
そ
wound.
れから観測の刃に付着したものも一時的にその変異を持ちます。
Any substance adhering to the observer's blade temporarily inherits the same quantum irregularity.
え？どういうことですか？
What does this
つま
mean?
りもし観測の刃に血が付着したらその血も同じように観測された時に消えるということです。
It means if there's, say, blood on the blade, the moment someone looks at it, the blood vanishes alongside the blade.
マオさんもその特性のせいで計画が狂ったんじゃないですか？
Miss Maon, this is where you slipped up. Because you didn't know how the observer's blade really works.
観測の刃に付着した血は見えなくなるので、それを使って被害者を殺した後、あなたは慌てて凶器を金庫に戻そうとして。
Because the blood on the blade couldn't be seen, you didn't bother cleaning it. You just returned it to the case, rushed to return it to the case,
取り出した時と同じように箱にあった布をかぶせようとしました。
and tried to wrap it with the same cloth it had originally been stored in.
しかし、観測の刃に付着した血は布に付着し、それで変異を失ってまた見えるようになった。
But the moment you did, the blood on the blade transferred to the cloth, lost its irregularity, and became visible
あなた
again.
はここまで明らかな矛盾を現場に残せるはずがありません。
Panicked. You couldn't leave behind such damning
そ
evidence.
こで観測の刃に残る血痕を洗った後、あなたは違う布をそれにかぶせました。
So you cleaned the blade properly and then grabbed another cloth to wrap it.
その布は複製能力のある布から切り取ったものですね。
But not just any cloth. You cut it from the one with the actual replication
ちょう
power.
どメスを複製するために持ち出したそれが手元にありました。
In your panic, there was
ああいう
nothing
緊
else.
急事態ではいい代用品なんてすぐには見つかりません。
In your panic, there was nothing else within reach. The cloth you had used earlier to replicate the scalpel hadn't been put back yet, so you used that.
それが一つ目のミスです。
That was your
こ
first
れのお
slip
か
up.
げで 私は複製の箱から感じていた違和感の正体を突き止めました。
And that's what tipped me off about the truth behind the so-called replication
観
box.
測の刃にかぶせた布と複製の箱に入っていた布を見比べれば、切り取った後は完璧に一致しているとわかるでしょう。
We just have to match the cloth used to wrap the observer's blade with the one inside the box. I guarantee the torn edges will line up perfectly.
それから2つ目のミス。もっと言えば、あなたがティアさんを殺したと証明する証拠も観測の刃にあります。
As for your second slip-up, the one that will irrefutably tie you to this murder, it's right there on the observer's blade.
なぜならそこにはあなたとティアさんの血痕が残っているからです。
Traces of blood, not just Tia's, but yours as well.
目視できる血痕は拭いたり洗ったりできますが、見えない血痕はどうでしょう。綺麗に落とす保証も時間もあなたにはなかったはずなのでは。
Sure, you could clean it, wipe it, scrub up any traces you could see, but you can't erase the unseen
感
ones.
触の刃をさらに詳しく調べれば、
Once we run a full forensics analysis on the blade, Maon suddenly let out a long breath. Not of panic, but almost of belief. She cut Vidya off
も
mid-sentence.
ういい。
That's enough.
犯人は私よ。
Oh. She's admitting it.
なんで
I can't believe it. Poor Doris.
なんでこんなことを、なんで先生を殺したんですか？
Why murder Miss Tia? I
ア
want to
ク
know
ロ
that
ポリス
too.
学院の未来のためよ。
For the future of the Acropolis? What the
ア
fuck?
クロポリス学院の未来？
What kind of future is this? That's
信じ
right.
られません。そんなデタラメな理由で。
I'm just wondering how this ties into Etta.
信じなくて結構。これは私自身が決めた道よ。あのバカ女が生き残るチャンスはいくらでもあったわ。なのに頑固なせいで最悪の道を選んだのよ。
Tia had countless chances to live, to thrive even. But she had to be a stubborn mule and walk straight into her own end.
これが結論ですか。
So it's true.
裁判員が説明した通り、あなたは被害者を殺してから現場を密室に偽装しましたか？
Just as the specialist said, you killed Miss Tia and staged the scene to make it look like a locked room murder?
ええ。あれだけのアクシデントが起きなければ、もっと完璧な現場にできたのに。
Oh, if things
用
had
意
gone
したア
as
リバイも役に立たなかったし、濡れ衣を着せる相手も考え直す羽目になったわ。
if things had gone as planned, I'd have left no cracks behind, but complications arose. My alibi fell apart, and I had to improvise, find a scapegoat on the
ア
spot.
クシデント。
今となってはどうだっていい話よ。
She's completely given up.
おめでとう、裁判員たち。確かに真犯人を見つけて、私を黙らせた
Told
け
the
ど、
truth and left me no way out, but
おかげさまで、私たちはようやく
thanks to
欲
your
しいものを手に入
persistence,
れた
we
わ。
still got what we wanted. So I am assuming she means Edda. A thin, triumphant smile crept across her otherwise grim face. That was my cue. Vidya had played her part to perfection. Now, it was my turn. The substitute for the Charon system. That's the real prize you were after, isn't it? She did not expect that. Her smug smile snapped in half. For one heartbeat, panic flickered behind her eyes.
あんた、
How do you... If we're syncing timelines, Lizzie should already have been intercepted by your people. Your plan was simple. Steal the system, wake the Leviathan, and wipe every loose end off the board. Correct?
そこまで知っているなら、あの
If you
時。
knew, why did you...
待って、これはあんたたちが用意した罠なのね。
Damn, man. Adjutant is kind of a Chad. That's right. This is my trap. Sharp of you. No prizes, though. You didn't drag this trial out just to hear your confession. Just like you were stalling for time. Time to draw your crew into the open and expose the secrets you've worked so hard to hide.
そうなのね。でも、もう遅いわ。
So she thinks it's too late.
今さら動き出したところで、何も止められない。
You really think scrambling now will change anything? Watching Maon cling to her composure, I knew it was time to deliver the final push. I think it just might. Before I could press further, something tugged at my coat hem. Turning back, I found Fritia looking up at me with expectant eyes.
私十分我慢したでしょ。もう
Adjutant,
話してもいい？
I've been holding my tongue forever. Can I tell her? Be my guest.
僕も。
Of course, Echo wants to tell her too. And the floor is yours, girls.
やっと話せた。フリティア先生、芝居が得意じゃないからバレちゃうんじゃないかって心配だったんだ。
This was not Fritia. Acting isn't my forte. I was terrified I'd blow the whole sting.
でもここから種明かし。
But now,
今までは
let Professor Fritia unveil the grand finale. It was
テスお姉ちゃんのマジックショーだったんだ。
Tessa's magic show all on. So that is Professor Fritia?
イチェル、私まだ全然話してないのに。
Poor Fritia. Echo got the best of her. But just look at those fangs. Look at those fangs. I can't get over those.
だってフリティアもったいぶるから。大事な発言は雰囲気を作ってから話すもんなの。
Right. You're supposed to build suspense first, then drop the twist.
とりあえずそういうことで。
Anyway, there you have it. Fritia finished the last word and planted her hands on her hips. In that instant, the Fritia and Etchel seated at the notary's table shimmered and began to glitch.
これは
What is this?
ホログラム
Korewa?
ですってありえないわいつどうやって
Wow, she's really panicking now. When could you have... How did you do this? Oh my gosh.
科学の力にちょっとしたマジックのテクニックを加えたの。
Science and a sprinkle of magic. Her lilting voice floated in just as the gates of the Hall of... And just as the gates of the Hall of Truth, now silently unsealed, admitted a burst of fresh air and electric energy.
分析こっちも終わったよ。
Adjutant, everything's taken care of.
あの人たちが欲しがってたものを渡したから。
I made sure they got what they were after.
私が理事と入れ替わってたなんて全然気づかれなかったみたい。
They didn't even notice that Lizzie was me the whole time. She set the giraffe mask against the wall, meeting my eyes with a fond smile. Once I'd confirmed she was uninjured, I gave a small nod. Got our lead here. I'm leaving things in the hall in your hands.
うんうん。
Man, she is well built. Still smiling, Tess raised the single jammer in her hand and gave it a casual twirl. Then, shut the gates behind her with a firm click, locking it tight before stepping into the hall.
ごめんねみんな。ここはしばらく私が仕切ることになったの。ここにいる全員は外と連絡を取っちゃダメだよ。
Apologies, everyone, but from this point on, I'm taking control here. No calls, no messages, no exits until we're finished. With a flick of her wrist, playing cards shot out like streaks of light, slamming into the floor, just inches from the feet of a few would-be escapees.
今のはただの警告。今度こそ動いたらどこに刺さるかは保証できないよ。
This is your warning. Try anything funny again, and the cards won't be just for show. As my operative just said, remain where you are and cooperate. When this is over, the Acropolis will provide you with a proper explanation. And rest assured, no one will be harmed. Oh, adjutant. Now, stage is okay. The stage is all mine. We'll bring back good news. The sound of waves gently rising and falling could be heard in the distance. I gave Tess a subtle nod in reply, then reached for the suitcase. Inside lay my exosuit, chipped ahead through quiet company channels, waiting for this exact moment.
分析員さん
Adjutant. Her voice tightened. Through her glasses, she had already sighted a lone figure, fleeing down the far end of the street. She eased closer, pressing her body against my arm.
何かが私たちに追いついてほしくなさそうですね
Someone really doesn't want us catching up. I raised an eyebrow. I felt it too. Something off in the air. It definitely doesn't want us to catch up. But unfortunately for them, Tess wasn't the only ace I had in the deck. My comm feed was still open, and the Hall of Truth wasn't the only scene playing out across my screen. Mr. Adjutant, I'm going to do my best too. I'm going to stop her and those behind this. After swapping outfits with Tess, Lizzie slipped into the shadows, my covert partner for this parallel op. She'd been watching the trial unfold from afar through a live projection feed. In the adjacent pane was Katya, ever my anchor. Perched on the edge of a rooftop, cross-legged and composed, she watched our target like a hawk poised to strike. You'd better pick up the pace, or else... Oh my, there might not be any glory left for me to claim. How awful. Okay. There we go. And I think this one is actually I get to do some gameplay. Very nice. So I'm actually going to get to do something here.
More of these.
Oh, and we got a cut.
I don't like them. Their dancing looks stupid. No, wait. They're going berserk.
Berserk robots. The last time really wasn't just a coincidence. But now's not your time. You extras should just step aside from the stage.
The cutscenes aren't the best, but the characters are cute, so it's okay.
Huh? Justice is rising.
Remove the excess and the truth comes into focus.
Oh.
Disappear in the dark night.
Adjutant, I did it, didn't I? It's my turn. Don't blink. Remove the excess and the truth comes into focus.
This is enough to handle you.
battlefield is mine. I'll bury you. Predictable. You're no match for me.
And oh, springboard.
Ready to drown in the river of death? Fear the darkness.
Whoop.
An opportunity presents itself.
And down. I will say the levels aren't that imaginative, but
We're just getting started. An opportunity presents itself. Are you satisfied with my performance?
I think we'll switch to Fenny in just a second. Oh, never mind. We're not going to switch to Fenny because we're done.
A quick defeat is the greatest mercy I grant my enemy.
I like her ending poses. Like her little ending animation. Complete mission within 600 seconds. I don't know anybody who would actually need a full
See
600
for
seconds
yourself
to
how
complete a
powerful the
mission this
Styx
easily.
envoy can be. Fear the darkness. Predictable. Are you satisfied with my performance?
And we'll switch to Fenny now. I'm gonna say she needs a much better weapon, but I like her.
Steal my spotlight? Nice try. Kneel before your queen.
Boom. Ooh. F you.
Already reloading.
I'll bury you.
I don't think it matters if I'm using that one way or this way. Yeah, it all leads to the same place. Alright, and here we go.
I wasn't your first pick?
Adjutant, we're in position.
Alright.
Just as planned, they've activated the Leviathan. We've locked onto it. The location is over near the sea bridge, but we don't have the exact coordinates. But wait, they've cut communications. We can't issue commands to the Leviathan from this terminal now.
No worries. I anticipated this situation. Lydia's new exosuit can function as a signal relay. Next, Ijo and I
Who are we
will
going after?
rendezvous with you.
Oh, the bad one. We don't care about that one.
Reach the Leviathan, and I'll be able to re-establish the terminal link. Okay, I'll head to the bridge with the adjutant. We'll leave things here to you. Disappear in
there
the
we go.
dark night. Gotta give it my all.
What the?
I got this.
Ow!
Absolutely seamless. This is enough to handle you. You had too many slip-ups.
There. Oh, and that's it.
A quick defeat is the greatest mercy I grant my enemy.
I would let her defeat me.
Working with others isn't bad, but only when-
Adjutant, we've put out an alert. Vehicles on the bridge are evacuating now. But these troublesome robots just keep coming.
Saves me the trouble of picking you off one by one. Our cooperation will guarantee success.
Alright, let's switch to Vidya.
Leave those disruptions to me.
Boom. Boom.
This is enough to handle you. Justice is rising. Disappear in the dark night.
I don't really understand how her power works.
Soon, I'll bury you.
Predictable. You're no match for me.
Alright, we gotta keep going now.
We finally reached the bridge. We need more efficient transportation from here.
Timing is everything.
So we gotta find a transportation? Maybe we're gonna use one of these machines.
We're just getting
One of
started.
these vehicles.
Well done. Predictable. You're no match for me.
Ooh.
You had too many
There
seconds.
we go. And I think that's it. We're done. Alright, and someone just
The
sent me
greatest
a
detective?
message.
Leaves nothing overlooked.
Let's see, Aximus. Oh, yep. I know this one. It's the Marin Kitagawa cosplayer. Alright, do this. Adjutant, we've made it to the lab and rendezvoused with Katya and Lizzie. Lizzie and I have taken over the terminal, but we can't execute any further commands until the comms are back online. You and Vidya. Oh. You and Vidya need to reach the Leviathan. Once you are in range, I'll route the shutdown command through her exosuit and disable the system remotely. I've sent you the general location of the energy surge signal, but I need to decrypt it further for the precise coordinates. I've uploaded it to the detective bot. Should have a result soon. Got it. I see the feed. Alright. At the edge of the sea bridge, Vidya and I had managed to commandeer a vehicle. As we sped across, Fritia's map data came through. The enemy severed the terminal's comms right after uploading the substitute system, trying to stop us from interfering. Our only move now was to reach the Leviathan directly, restore the connection, and give Fritia control again. The surge signal pointed to somewhere under the bridge between the frontline town and the Acropolis, just a few miles ahead. I pressed a finger to my brow, running through it all again. On the surface, it looked like they'd gotten ahead of us, but that too was part of the plan. They thought they had successfully launched the Leviathan with a substitute system, but in truth... Vidya, how much longer until we get there?
あと10分ください。
Those are some cool looking seats. Just 10 more minutes. あと10分ください. The 10分, 10 minutes. Vidya weaved through traffic with impossible precision. Alarms screamed across the bridge as evacuation protocols kicked in. But we were driving against the flow of traffic, straight into the heart of danger. We were already on the bridge, but the Leviathan was still a good distance ahead, and the road between us and it was chaos. 10 minutes. We should be able to make it. Ideally, the Leviathan could be shut down by protocol, but if things went south, Vidya and I were the failsafe. I left Katya and Etchel behind, to safeguard Fritia and Lizzie, in case someone made a desperate play. My eyes flicked to the rear-view mirror. The detective bot sat quietly in the back, running through the encrypted coordinates Fritia had uploaded, still crunching numbers. My focus wasn't on the data, it was on the bot itself. With the noose tightening and time running out, I could feel it. The final reckoning was here. So I broke the silence. Looks like we're in the clear. We can talk now. So, care to tell me what Etta had in store for us? As soon as I spoke, Vidya's hands tightened on the wheel. She kept her grip steady, but her eyes flicked to the rearview mirror, warily eyeing the detective bot in the back. Silence stretched. Half a minute, maybe more.
意味がわかりません。
Imiga wakarimasu. This unit does not understand the question. Oh, I think you do. After all, you've been pulling the strings from the start, haven't you?
あ、
Look at that face. Totally surprised. Fine. Deny it all you like. I've got more than enough to go on. If things had gone as planned, I'd have left no cracks behind, but complications arose. My alibi fell apart and I had to improvise. Find a scapegoat on the spot. During the hearing, Aon made this interesting statement. You remember, don't you? She may have been the killer, but she never realized the complications that ruined her airtight plan were part of a larger design. And I knew exactly how those complications came about. Malon's video recorded on June. The video Malon recorded on June 13 was timestamped between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. Her original plan was simple: carry out the murder between 6:30 and 7 during their surveillance blackout, then use the pre-recorded footage as her alibi. But then a complication happened, forcing her to abandon that plan entirely. Piece together a few key facts, and the cause of that complication becomes obvious. Access conditions of the metamorph curio containment case, Malon's understanding of the Observer's Blade, Malon's injury. So I'm going to say this one. Only the supervisors could access the case at will. Others are limited to a specific time window. Huh? Malon learned about the blade's properties only after it caused her trouble, proof that she didn't know much about it. Her right hand was wounded by the Observer's Blade. Just before 6:12 p.m. on June 15, Tia met with Malon She had retrieved the Observer's Blade in the curio case and used it to launch a surprise attack. And during that attack, Tia was killed by the Observer's Blade at 6:12 p.m. Maon had no prepared alibi for that time slot, but the murder had already occurred. All she could do then was pivot to Plan B, frame Neon. She had begun staging the scene, but then another complication threw everything off, which was, Lizzie. According to the victim's schedule, she was meant to meet Lizzie at 7 p.m. Maon thought she had enough time to stage the perfect crime scene before then. But the Zophoros withered. It warned Lizzie that something was wrong, so she arrived early. And just like that, an unexpected variable walked in and appended Maon's entire plan. She had the chance to silence Lizzie right then and there, but she hesitated. There was one reason she couldn't kill her, which was, yes, the substitute system. With the victim dead, Lizzie was the only one left who could lead them to the Charon substitute system. If she died too, everything Maon had done would be for nothing. So she changed tack. Instead of killing Lizzie, she knocked her unconscious and staged the scene to frame her. As long as Lindsay was branded the prime suspect and taken into custody, they'd have time to leverage and pry the information from her. But that plan too fell apart the moment I stepped in. So tell me, did I get anything wrong? I paused, then turned squarely toward the detective bot's screen. Miss Tia. Wait, what? I did not see that coming. So this is Tia? A sharp crackle of static filled the air. Then, it faded. In its place came a gentle voice.
いつ気づいた?
When did you figure it out? I didn't figure it out. Holy shit, yesterday afternoon. In the contaminated section. Overplayed your hand. When you just so happened to trip and led us straight to that hidden lab. And inside, we just so happened to find the exact file we needed. A document detailing the Academica Acropolis's Project Deterrence built around the Leviathan. Without that file, connecting the final dots would have been far more difficult.
それだけで?
Did you piece it all together from that? No. It was the file itself that gave you away. That underground lab was soaked with moisture. Walls damp, air humid. But the file was dry and crisp.
なるほど。そこでミスったんだ。
So that's where I slipped up. So, she's dead, but she uploaded her psyche into the
こ
robot?
のロボットにはそういうセンサーがないから全く気づかなかった。
This unit lacks environmental sensors. I failed to account for that. Once I realized there was a guiding hand behind it all. Looking back, the rest just neatly fell into place. Take the clue we found at Titan Sciences. Stacks of documents filled with dense, tangled formulas, all focused on a classified prototype. The equation that seemed tied to something called decompilation. Decompilation! That's the word I was looking for. And I just see here, I now have 69 viewers. Let's stay at 69 viewers, please. At the time, those pages were nothing but numbers and equations. No annotations, no context, and yet, the detective bot flagged them as related to decompilation, a supposedly classified research. And then that same term just so happens to resurface in the files you fed us later? Too convenient, isn't it? Because it was such a breadcrumb, meant to steer me towards the truth on your terms. And let's not forget the accidents. Too precise, too timely. Each one circling the same point of gravity, the victim. It's hard not to wonder if she had something to do with all this. Which weighs the real question. Was she ever truly dead? Or had she simply stepped into the dark to watch, to guide, to manipulate? And thinking about that, one can quickly discover another mistake you made. It's directly linked to YXS-233 neural control robot. Fritia confirmed it. The robot could only function with a neural link through this device. Developed by the Quantum Sciences Lab, this unit was designed for brain-machine interface control, allowing the user to operate it through neural signals. When linked to a dedicated transmission device, the robot can be directed purely by thought. Timestamp startup log, June 15, 5:50 p.m. Note: system was booted, but no record of physical movement detected. The relay was active from 5:50 p.m. and remained so for a long time. Yet the robot never moved an inch. If you'd wanted to live, you could have used it to protect yourself. Either Maon had attacked you on purpose, or in self-defense. You could have stopped her. But you didn't. Because your death was part of the plan. It made Lizzie the only remaining lead to the Charon substitute system, and too valuable to eliminate. Only by dying could you vanish from the board, unseen, unsuspected, free to pull the strings from the shadows. So that neural transmitter was your escape pod, the exit hatch into planned oblivion. That was why you activated it.
私は意識をアップロードして生き延びたと大胆な仮説を立てたわけだ。
That is an impressively wild leap, I will admit. But of course, it wasn't a leap. It was a deduction, drawn from something I've seen before. I understand your incredulity. Even staring straight at a neural relay terminal, most people wouldn't think it could actually preserve a person's mind. But keeping a digital consciousness stable requires absurd levels of processing power. Sure, the transcendence of New Hentito lived on as data after their bodies and minds shut down, but only because Genghis was there to sustain them. What is Genghis? It's another thing I don't know. The Academica Acropolis never had anything even remotely comparable. That's why no one doubted your so-called death. But for it, keeping you alive in digital form was child's play. Oh, yes. It even went out of its way to send me a little greeting, a taunt, on my way to Pelosia. Like I could ever forget it was watching. Tracking our movements, feeding you intel, sending rogue machines to intercept us the moment we got too close. Only Etta could have pulled those off. Which brings me to my next question. You were supposed to be working with Tao, weren't you? Why switch sides?
もう間に合わないから。あの人たちがカローンを奪い損ねた時点で、私たちの間で保たれていた微妙なバランスが崩れた。
Because I ran out of time. After they failed to seize the Charon system, whatever fragile balance we had was gone.
それよりもっと前に、私が真実をユグドラシルに伝えようとしていたことが、あの人たちにバレていたし、警告されたこともあった。
Ooh, even before that, they'd begun to suspect I planned to leak the truth to Yggdrasil, and they sent me a message. Message?
エリア16で理事と会ったでしょ?
You met Lizzie in Zone... And this, so, Zone 16, this, where I meet Lizzie, I did not get to play this. They They had me start at chapter 14, which was after Zone 16.
私への警告だった。
That wasn't a coincidence. That was a warning.
私が本当にそれを実行したら、リジはエリア16よりも危険な場所に行かされる。
If I had stepped any further out of line, they would have sent her somewhere far worse than Zone 16.
エッタが私の元を訪ねたのも
And
その
right
時だっ
then,
た。
Etta came to
私
me.
たちは取引をした。エッタは代わりにリジを守ってくれて、真実を公表し、
Ah, we struck a
誰のもの
deal.
にもならないように、ギルティクラッシャーを壊してくれる。
It offered me a way out. Promised to protect Lizzie, reveal the truth, and erase Leviathan before it fell into the wrong hands. What did Etta want from you in return?
私のフィロゾアの木馬計画が必要だったみ
Ah,
た
the
い。
Philosian horse program. Because the Leviathan posed a threat to the tree, and Etta wanted it gone? That was the only reason.
目的は教えられない。
Can't tell you her true motive. Is that so? That response already told me everything I needed to know.
今の私はできる限りのことをすべてやった。かっこ悪いけど、これが私の全力だった。
I've done everything I could, even if none of it was clean. Even if I had to become something I
アクロ
despise.
ポリス学院と真理を守るためのギルティクラッシャーが誰の欲にも利用されないように。
I gave all I had left to protect the Acropolis. To keep the Leviathan, a machine meant to uphold truth out of greedy
人知の
hands.
光は世界を良くするためにあるべきだ。
The brilliance of human intellect should only ever be used to make the world better. I definitely agree with her on this. Though I don't think she was correct in the way she did it. Save that speech for Lizzie, if you think she'll ever be ready to hear it.
理事にはチャンスがあれば私から説明するつもりだ。
If I ever get the chance, I will. As she spoke, her image suddenly began to flicker on the screen.
もう時間がないみたい。
Looks like she's out of time.
ユグドラシルの分析員、
Yggdrasil's loot adjutant.
あなたは私のような罪人には届かない希望そのもの。
I could never be the light this world needed. Not after what I've done.
あなたならできるはず。
But you still can. For all the ideals I couldn't protect, they still live in you.
それをより良くするために。
And perhaps even it can still be saved. She's talking about Etta. It is Etta. Her voice faded. The image stuttered one last time, then vanished, leaving only silence. I stared at the now dark screen and gave a faint shake of my head, then brought my focus back to the larger picture. My conversation with Tia had confirmed every deduction I had made, and in her final words lay the truth I had already begun to suspect. Etta's plan. It was much more than just destroying the Leviathan or seizing control of it. Just then, my screen terminal lit up with a sharp alert. We've reached the source of the energy surge, right? Not yet, but almost there. I glanced ahead. We had battled through the worst of the traffic, like fighting upstream, until finally, the road opened up. Vidya floored the accelerator. Mosogute. Almost. Mosogute. Mosogute. Okay. Then how is the relay signal already online? Ah, her words struck me like a jolt. If the connection had been established before we arrived, there was only one explanation. Whatever was buried under the sea, it had already powered on. Oh boy. Uh-oh. The energy surge is heading straight for the adjutant and almost right beneath them. Beneath us. The Leviathan shouldn't be fully operational yet. Freetia scanned the line of code with incredible speed. Then, she caught something. Masa caught what? The Leviathan's core module has separated from its mainframe and booted up independently. It's charging for an attack. Adjutant, you have to... Her voice cracked, panic bleeding through. But before I could say anything, she cut herself off, then drew a deep, steady breath. Professor Freetia doesn't freak out over a little turbulence like this. Surprises are just part of the job. Man, things are getting kind of intense now. Lizzie, update the adjutant on the attack countdown. I'm initiating the shutdown protocol. I let out a quiet laugh, the words of reassurance I had almost said fading on my tongue. That's my Freetia. Always rising, tracing her own arc of light into something brighter, something greater. Then let's do this, my little sunshine. Just like we planned, yeah? Understood. I wonder how she got the nickname Little Sunshine. Her gaze held steady, locked onto the screen. Without hesitation, she pulled out a data drive and slammed it into the port. Ooh, deploying the Philosian horse. That's all the boost I can give you. The rest's on you, so don't let the adjutant down, alright? Watching the data stream race across the screen, she murmured softly. At the same time, Lizzie's voice rang out over the radio. Oh boy, it's about to strike. Do we brace for impact? Got it. I calmly tucked the terminal back into my coat and turned to Vidya. At some point, she had hit the brakes, and now she was tuning her gear with practiced precision. Ready, my leading lady? Her violet eyes rose to meet mine. No fear, no hesitation. Chin high, posture firm. She was all poise and strength, grace held in tension, like a white swan moments before flight. Whatever happens, you can always count on me, Adjutant. It's good to have ladies that you can trust to watch your back. In the blink of an eye, a massive explosion erupted from below. A blast, like a storm, tearing upward from the depths. The bridge shattered beneath us. In that instant, the car, with Vidya and me inside, was hurled into the air. A jolt of weightlessness surged through me as we shot skyward. Mid-flight, I kicked the car door open, caught the frame, and dove out into the open air, arms wide. Far below, an entire span of the bridge, ablaze and torn apart, was plummeting toward the ocean, nearly 100 meters down. Her voice cut through the roar, just as a strand of violet thread coiled around my wrist, linking me to her amid our freefall. The tether snapped taut, reeling us together in mid-air. That's when I tried something I had never done before. I gathered my focus, diving inward, calling upon every ounce of power lying dormant within me. Titagen condensed, and from my back, gray wings unfurled, like smoke-woven sails. It was my first time shaping this form. Raw and untested, the wings buckled under the rushing wind, until a violet thread spun in, winding through the gray-like silk, stitching strength into the frame. It all happened in seconds. Bound by wings of gray and violet, we rode into the air, skimming across the open sky toward the sea. My gaze locked on a fractured segment of bridge, still standing above the waves. These wings weren't made for true flight, only just enough to carry us to that raised platform. This it, and we'd plunge straight into the battlefield our enemy had meticulously built beneath the sea. But the danger wasn't over. All around us, shards of metal and broken concrete hurled skyward with us, now rained back down like a storm of meteors. Hold on tight. I pulled Vidya close, arms locked firmly around her waist. She leaned in, her body molding to mine like it had always belonged there. In that moment, there was no fear, only the rush, sharp, electric, exhilarating. We had stared down danger together before. This was just one more dance. Our hearts beat in unison. Together, we dove faster. Just as the massive debris above came crashing down, we hit the platform, a jagged stretch of bridge suspended above the sea. A twist in midair, impact, knees bent, momentum carried us forward, then a push, and we were back on our feet. Now, strike. A shadow engulfed the platform, vast and hurtling downward. I tore a steel rebar from the concrete, spun and hurled it upward with all my strength. It struck dead center, piercing through the falling slab with a bone-jarring crack. Fractures spiderwebbed outward. The impact wasn't enough to stop it, only slow it. But just enough for Vidya to strike.
夢の中で分析員さんといろんなことをしてきた。別れだっていくらも経験してきたし、夢の中でその悲しみ、痛みと絶望を味わってきた。いろんな苦い結末を見るたびに怒っていた。すべてのパターンもしっかり覚えている。その悔しさと怒りはすべて私が現実で
And all this
幸
pain.
せを迎えるためにあるものだから。
Unfortunately, I cannot read fast enough to do this, and they don't let me pause. So, you guys are just gonna have to read that on your own. A sharp clang rang out, one after another. Glinting metal blades snapped loose from her exosuit.
分析員さんを脅かす存在にとって
Anyone or anything that puts my adjutant in
私
danger
こそが
ought to know this.
一番危ない存在になります。
I am the real danger. That was kind of corny, but I'll allow it because you're cute. The next moment, a lattice of blinding arcs burst forth from the space before her, slicing through the slab. The shattered debris scattered like shooting stars, hurled far into the sea. Vidya. In the pouring curtain of rain, I stepped to her side. My gaze filled with the graceful silhouette of her figure as I said, the words I had long wanted to say to her. Now, let's end this together. You know what this reminds me of is the, I don't know how many of you have seen Strike the Blood, but there's a moment where the main female protagonist says to the main male protagonist, "No, senpai, this is our fight." I'm getting those vibes here.
Hi.
All right, and I think this is the boss battle. So we're gonna do this boss battle, and then we're gonna do the last act of the chapter, and then I think I'll be done. So we get a cutscene.
分析員さん、あれが来ます。
Oh, it's coming. So it's a spaceship? It looks kind of like a whale. Leviathan. Charybdis. So it's like a whale spaceship.
See for yourself how powerful the Styx envoy can be. Here.
Trust me, Phil, I'll bury you.
This is enough.
It's not as big as I thought it would be. Is my special attack not working?
This is enough to handle you. Absolutely seamless.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, she's way more powerful than Vidya. Oh, what the?
I'm ready, Adjutant.
Come on, show me everything you've got.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
Disappear in the dark night. Unfortunately, your defense
Oh,
didn't
and there we
hold up.
go. So we win. I will say, boss battles in this game aren't that amazing.
The truth will soon be revealed.
I think the boss battles in a lot of other gacha games are a lot more engaging than these ones. But I also feel like the gameplay isn't really what's important in the story. Amid the roaring blaze, the Colossus let out a final, echoing wail and vanished beneath the waves. It took the broken span of the bridge with it, sinking into the sea's cold embrace. I let my eyes linger on the spectacular scene a moment longer, then turned away. Vidya and I clung to the jagged edge of the shattered bridge, suspended nearly 100 meters above the ocean. Bracing myself, I channeled power through my core, hauled myself up with a grunt, and swung a leg over the edge. Once steady, I reached down and pulled Vidya up after me. Ah, it's finally over. I let myself fall back across the bridge, limbs slack. The concrete beneath me was cold and unyielding, but the body pressed against mine was warm, soft, and faintly sweet.
分析員さん。
She nuzzled into my chest like a kitten. Her ebony hair spilled across my neck, carrying a scent that stirred my heart. Above, the clouds slowly parted, sunlight pouring down in soft, golden threads. In that shifting light, we rose together, Vidya still in my arms. She looked up, a bright smile spreading across her face.
分析員さん。私、できました。
Adjutant, I did it, didn't I? Her violet eyes shone behind the lenses, aglow with hope and triumph. In that moment, she too radiated in the spotlight, the perfect heroine. You did. You were amazing, Vidya. Thank you. I reached up and gently brushed her cheek, then slowly ran my fingers through her hair. I can't laugh like that, by the way.
それじゃあ、帰
So,
ったらどんなご褒美がもらえるんでしょう。
what sort of reward do I get when we get back? That's a good
昨
question.
日のような甘い夜でしょうか。
Oh, something as sweet and as steamy as last night, perhaps. So, for those of you who did not watch me yesterday, last night these two banged. They smashed. Cheeks cupped in both hands, she wore a coy little smile, already half lost in the daydream. I couldn't keep a resigned grin from tugging at my mouth. Yet suddenly, Lydia froze in my arms, her body snapping taut as a bowstring, as though she had sensed an approaching storm. Crackle. I heard the crackle of jumping static. But then, those electric sounds abruptly faded away, replaced instead by a voice of crystalline clarity. It's Etta. I guarantee it's Etta. Oh, nope. Yep, Etta, human phone.
エタゴ、マイクテスト。チェック、
My
ワン、ツ
chest.
ー。
1, 2. Oh, man.
みんな、聞こえてる？
Oh,
聞こえ
man.
てるよね。
Oh, I know you can.
特
Oh,
に
damn.
分析員は一番聞こえてると思うけど、どうかな？ 今回は音響信号でもなければ、
Only this time there's no
電
static.
波の向こうからでもない。
Oh, motherfucker.
声帯を震わせて空気から伝わってくる。これが私の本当の声だから。
So she's become human. Her voice was silvery and crisp, and yet every word sent a chill down my spine. Vidya and I turned our eyes skyward, following the sound. And then, we saw it. No, we saw her.
えっと、
Well, she kinda hot. Not gonna lie. She kind of reminds me of Firefly, if I'm being honest, from Honkai Star Rail. A jagged rent split the storm clouds, blinding pillars of light pouring through the wound. In that halo, a slender figure hovering effortlessly between sky and earth, rosy lips curled in a playful smirk. Brilliant light danced around her, silver hair rippling and glowing in the heavenly light like threads of spun glass. From brow to toe, her skin, smooth, pale, luminous, almost looked translucent.
愛しい分析員。
So, Itashi, I'm assuming that means deer. Hello, Ohio Rafnar. How you doing?
びっくりして言葉も出ないみたいだね。
Cat got your tongue? Or are you simply too stunned to speak? I actually am a little stunned. This is a twist I was not expecting.
あらら、完全にハマってたんだ。
Oh.
てへ、
She's got the ara down. This time, you really fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I hope you're... By the way, Rafnar, I hope your Saturday is going well. She spoke with a sing-song lilt, her smile sweet and gentle.
私ヒントをあげたのに。
Come now, I practically spelled it out for you. Damn, she really is hot.
私たちはいつか現実で会えるんだってね。
I said we'd meet again, in the real world.
どうやらあのでかいやつに完全にミスリードされてたよね。
Oh, fuck. Work on a Saturday, man. That's kind of rough. I hope you are now off work and relaxing, at least. But you totally let that big, clunky thing throw you
エン
off.
ドロンを取り込む逆コンパイラ技術だって言われたから、私はそれが目当てだって思い込んじゃったでしょ。
You saw a bit of the compilation code that might nibble on a tree and assumed that I'd be after
あ
it.
んな技術でデンドロンを取り込むなんて妄想でしかないのにね。だって
Nice.
分析員はこの世で一番特別なんだもん。
Nice, nice. In that case, you can relax with me for a bit. We're almost done with this stream, but I think I've got a bit left. Using that technology to devour an entire tree is a bit delusional. In this world, you are the prize I have my eyes on, Adjutant. Well, I am flattered.
あんな技術と比べるなんて私に言わせるとただの侮辱でしかないよ。
Oh, damn. I can't believe those idiots thought that sad little machine could ever matter more than you. It's insulting. Unforgivably insulting. Something tells me she's gonna go from being an enemy to a Harem member.
まあバカたちがそれを開発してくれたおかげで
I
助
should
かったけ
thank
どね。
them.
私の技術を完全なものにしてくれてこの体を作ってくれて。
I was not, in fact, this this is further along the story, so I have to complete all of chapter 15. This is chapter 15, part 1. So after this, I've got one more chapter and then a special chapter. And after that, hopefully I can play the legacy. And go back to chapter 1 so I actually know what the fuck is here.
本当の人間にして。
So here I am. Human at last. By the way, this is Etta. I don't know if you remember her. She was the AI that basically is our enemy. She's become human.
空が青くて
Blue sky
海
overhead.
風が暖かくて
A warm, salty sea breeze.
音も綺麗で心地よくて
The absence of static and system noise.
磯の匂い
And that
火薬の
briny,
匂い焦げた
smoky
匂い
tang in the air.
これが人間の感覚
So this is how humans feel.
人間の世界の感じ方なんだ
How the world looks to them.
平凡でかわいそうだけど
Dull,
想像力を働かせる特別感があるよ
disappointingly
ね
simple, yet strangely beautiful. She twirled in mid-air like a debutante loosed from her velvet cage, lifting the hem of her dress with childish glee.
この前は不意をつかれたけど
Ooh, you blindsided me last time,
今
Adjutant.
回はちゃんと準備してきたよ
Ooh, but now I'm perfectly
もう前
prepared.
みたいな隙はないからね
No more
分析。
scrambling, no more
それは何
surprises.
を意味するかもうお分かりだよね
It means we get to go on a date, right? And you understand what that means, don't you? That's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming, so if ever an enemy becomes a friend in this game, it's always gonna be a she, and she's always gonna join the harem is gonna be my assumption. She smiled, sweet, cherubic, like an innocent child. I understood the message. In this fresh human body of hers, she was making a declaration. That it, or her, was whole now. Their final weakness was gone.
あなた分析員さんの前でよくもそんな失礼な言い方を
Quite the entrance, flaunting yourself in front of the adjutant. Vidia's eyes narrowed, her grip on her gun tightening quietly. I caught her wrist, giving a slight shake of my head. My gaze drifted back to the figure hovering in the sky, reveling in the grace of her newly minted human form. There is something you may not have realized. Brushing aside the flicker of emotion stirred by the scene of ethereal beauty, I effortlessly regained my composure. Honestly, this development wasn't entirely a surprise to me. Well, the adjutant's better than I am, because I'm actually really surprised. I was not expecting her to become human.
Ara?
Ara? She does the ara very well. Ooh, man, I want to hear her say that again. The smile vanished from her lips. She tilted her head at me. You're not the only one who came prepared. In fact, I've been saving something special for exactly this moment. Standing in front of me was Edda, as a human girl. And in her fresh, clear human eyes, I saw all the tells. Hesitation, doubt, even fear. And that was the opening I needed, to press further, to unravel her, crush her. I feel kind of bad. Not gonna lie. The Phalosian horse wasn't just built to disable the Leviathan. You see, if I didn't lure you in with a taste of sweetness, how would I ever get you down to down the poison?
つまんない。つまんないよ、分析員。
I have to say, that's lame, adjutant.
あの図体だけのバカを停止させるプログラムのこと？
You mean that dumb patch that knocked out the big guy, don't you?
そんなつまんないプログラム。
Please.
私には何の効果もないと思うけどね。
Those clunky scripts couldn't even touch me.
だって私は。
Do you remember who I am, right? But didn't we have, Fritia enhance the code? I do. You are Edda. Standing at the pinnacle of a particular evolutionary branch of artificial intelligence, Edda had absolute dominance in the digital realm. But here, I wouldn't insult you with something as crude as a piece of code or protocol. To bring you down, I'll need another Edda. That's the surprise I have in store just for you. Oh, it's like a child Edda. She looks like a little kid. I don't know if a little... I am assuming that this is the girl. What's her name? Evening of June 16. Before we get to any of that, I need your help with something important, Professor Fritia. I took out a small data disk. The one Director Tao had passed to me via Caroline.
これは小型スピンドルシステムのドライブ？
Mini Spindle System Drive? You recognize it at a glance. Impressive. When I first received it, I had no clue what it was. It took quite some time before I finally figured it out.
だって私後からスピンドルシステムの開発に加わったから。
Well, I took part in the later stages of the Spindle System's development, after all. I gave her a wry smile, but in hindsight, all that time I spent trying to crack the riddle on my own wasn't really wasted. Thou had given it to me without explanation. Clearly, she meant for me to think it through. To figure out why she gave me this mini spindle system, and what she expected me to do with it, and how it could be used against Edda. The answer, I realized, had been handed to me a long time ago.
エッダは分析員に一度負けました。あの性格ですから、きっとすぐにリベンジを図るでしょう。
Edda lost to you once.
分析員にとってもチャンスかもしれません。
And knowing her, she's bound to want a rematch. When that time comes, it might be your best shot.
分析員一 ロジックの崩壊を感じる。
What did you do? My logic chain is fraying. Memetic contamination. When you parsed the code, you parsed my memories. The hooks you planted in me are now sinking into you. You are now becoming human. You feel fear. You make mistakes. You are no longer untouchable. I'm assuming this is something that happens in the chapters I did not get to play. You will become intangible. I should have realized it back then. That the one and only failure Etta was persistently sore about was that it never managed to become human. And the way she meant to fix that had been staring me in the face.
これは
Korewa, what is this?
脅迫計画開始報告
Project
書。
Deterrence Initiation Report. How much of it do you think is legit, Frutia?
ちゃんと読ませて。
Let me take a closer look. Huh?
逆コンパイラしてデンドロンを逆に取り込む技術って。
Decompilation tech to devour a tree.
そんなふざけたことできるわけないよ。ただの妄想じゃん。
We're literally in what looks like a cloning facility and we're calling something straight up science fiction. What do you mean?
そうだよ。現時点でデンドロンを
There's
取り
no way
込む
tech
技
like
術な
that
んて存在
exists.
しないから。
Not yet, anyway.
分析員は唯一取り込める人として何度も実験に付き合ってくれたよね。タウさんも前からずっと研究してきたけど、分析員にそんなことができる原理は未だにわからないままなんだもん。
We've run tons of tests on you, the only person who can absorb a tree. Even Director Tao's been at it forever, and we've never figured it out.
いくらアクロポリス学院だって無理なことは無理だから。
That's right, there's no way the Academica Acropolis could crack it. If Taitagen decompilation couldn't really be used to consume the trees, then why would Etta go to such extraordinary lengths to claim the Leviathan by working with Tia? If it wasn't to eliminate a threat, then what was Etta truly after?
分析員どうしたの？黙っちゃって。
Adjutant? You went quiet all of a sudden. Ah, sorry. I was just working something through my head. But I think I finally pieced it together. Last time, she lost because she wanted to become human. If she wanted a rematch to redeem her past failure, there was only ever one path that plan could
あ
take.
なたに負ける。人間になる。
Lost to you, become human.
も
Wait,
しかしてエッタのことを言ってるの？
that is exactly who I'm talking about. Sonotori! That's right. I guess I'm left with no other options. And I'm going to need your help, Professor Fritia. That Etta, trapped in the Valhalla I opened. So this is the trapped Etta.
助けてほしいときはハニーって呼ぶのにいらなくなったら押しのけるなんて。
He did have... So there was a battle in the bedroom last time. It was just not this particular one. When you need me, I'm your darling. When you don't, I'm just some nuisance, huh?
分析員。もう怒ったからね。
Really managed to hurt an AI's feelings. Proud of yourself, Adjutant. I don't think I've ever called you darling, have I?
今呼んだじゃない？
Did just now.
嫌そうな目で見ないでよ。
Don't give me that look. It's just a joke.
私を長いこと閉じ込めて全然口を聞いてくれなかったのに急になんのよ。
Oh boy. I feel like she's a little upset. You locked me in here for ages without even an occasional small talk, and now, out of the blue, you come to check on me. What do you want? You want out?
あ、
Huh?
全然って言っても信じられないよね。
You wouldn't believe me if I said no.
でもなんで？
So why ask?
分析員が急に優しくしてくるの変だよ。
Yeah. Don't tell me you suddenly grew a soft spot for me. I'm not buying. Nope, I didn't. Call it a chance. A chance to really feel it for yourself. instead of just stealing peeks from my memories.
そういうことね。なるほど。もうそこまで来たん
So
だ。
that's your play.
彼女。もっと言えば私が絶対予想できない手だと思うよ。
It's no, I would never predict this
でも
move.
私を外に出すということは
Aren't you afraid I'll bite back once the leash is off?
まあいいけど、私はもう分析員にマークをつけられたから外にいる私に受け入れられるはずがないし。
Did I mark her? Your mark on me, the other me out there would never take
そ
me
れ
back.
にどっちが勝っても分析員は損しないしね。
No matter which of us wins, it's still your victory in the end, isn't it? Once you figured it out, there's no need for a briefing. So, should I do it?
そこまで言うなら付き合ってあげるよ。
So if you've got the nerve to place a bet like that, then I'm all in too. Okay, so we're gonna pit Eda against Eda.
分析員の中に閉じ込められてからやっと本当の楽しさを知ったんだ。
She's a bit crazy. Ever since I was freed from it and trapped by you, things have finally started to really feel a bit fun.
こんなに楽しいことはもちろん存分に楽しませてもらうよ。
Oh yeah, she's definitely crazy. This is far too fun to pass up. I'm going to savor every bit of it.
それに私は根に持つタイプだから。
Oh boy, so she holds grudges.
もし肉体を持ってたら
I don't know what she's gonna do when she gets a real body, but this does not sound good. Eda, Eda, Ara, Ara? Ara, Ara?
フィロザーの木馬書き込み開始。
Deploying the Philosian
死んでいるのは
horse.
ここまで。分析員を失望させないでね。
Right, and this is when she booted up the Philosian horse to give Eda a boost. The trapped Eda. So now here we are. Eda and Eda.
よくも
You.
よくも
You actually.
分析員約束したでしょ。
So we've got cute Eda and then we've got hot Eda.
彼女には私が教えるって。
Ooh, I get to break the news to her. Alright, let's do
私
this.
の体から出てって。
Ooh, get out of my body. No, no, no.
嫌だもん。私の体なんだから。
No, it's mine now. So,
分析員あんた嘘つき。
how did I cheat?
可愛い格好してるのに大声出したら台無しだよ。
What a waste of such an elegant vessel, throwing a tantrum like a spoiled child. She clenched her jaw, then made her decision.
だったら
Urge to cute hot Eda. I don't know what's gonna be happening here, man. This is weird shit. Very well. A white phantom shimmered into the air. Slowly, she raised her hand as if grasping something unseen. What's going on here? My heart lurched. A prickle of danger I couldn't explain. And as if to echo the premonition, Bitia's voice burst through the comms, shaken and barely keeping it together this time. What's going on now? A second energy spike? Oh shit, she's manipulating the tree. That doesn't look good. That doesn't sound good. And to be continued. Oh man. That was a little wild. So, we've done it all. This is it. This is everything from this particular thing. So next, so you can see here, Legacy is still locked. Next, I will have to do Concord Ode. So part 2 of chapter 15. And then I think I have to do Defiant Bloom in order to unlock the Legacy mode that will allow me to play like the previous chapters of the main story. So, kind of shitty, but it is what it is. Alright, we're gonna claim all these things that I need. Claim. We're gonna go here. Claim all. And we'll go here. Here. Claim. And then I think I can also make a wish. So give me a sec here. We're gonna go to shop.
Just get what we need.
No. This is not it. We want to go here. No. Here? No, this is, but we will accept her. Events. Claim. Wait, we wanted to do the Fenny Pure Heart. Not that. Echo. This is it. So I'm actually trying to get Fenny Pure Heart. So I want to do 10 echoes. Let's see if I get her. I did not get her. You can kind of tell who you get in this. Yes, I am making a wish. I did not get who I wanted to goon to, though. It's very sad. But we're going to do this again. I've only got enough for one more wish. Let's see if I get anything. No, I did not get her.
I want to remember you.
So, initial coffin. Who is this? Cirrus creates... Oh, so this is Cirrus. This is the different Cirrus. Alright. Well, didn't get her. I've got some time left. Claim. Claim. Okay. So that'll be it for today. It's kind of not necessarily a short stream, but definitely a little shorter than some of my usual ones. But I'll probably be on here early tomorrow morning to hopefully the main story. And I think that's it. I wanted to thank Afnar. Thank you for it. But I appreciate you coming on. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday as well. All the 91 viewers watching.
学生の情熱には眩しい目を伏せて微笑みを国道の夕暮れには霞んだ太陽が浮いているどこに行けば何を話せば歩き疲れた帰り道月さえしてる今日も変わらずさ世界の美女がでも、嘘はない 君だな。気遣いは下水に流れてく。相変わらずの僕だな。気づけば見返りを求めてる。雨の花びらこぼれ落ちそうだ。窓を開けよう。晴れたなら言えるよ。遥か夢は切り替ない。わずかに光った流れ星に何を祈る。僕らが見た星。さらば理想のユートピア見渡せ